Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio, everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and today we're back again with another Danmachi Battle Chronicle video, and we're off to the arena to meet Ganesha and talk about the two PvP game modes, Magic Stone Scramble and Battle Arena. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks for both game modes, and on top of that, we're going to be talking about the rewards and where should you ideally reach to get the best rewards. And then, of course, on top of that, we're going to be checking out the exchange shop and checking out what you should ideally be picking up from both exchange shops. Now, of course, if you guys go on to enjoy today's video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more Danmachi and Danmachi Battle Chronicle content, and let me know in the comment section down below, from the two game modes, which one do you guys prefer the concept of? Of course, I know that right now it's hard to judge both game modes because both are relatively buggy at this point in time. Of course, Battle Arena, the UI is a complete mess, and in Magic Stone Scramble, well, it's a 50-50 chance of you getting the game mode to work. So let me know in the comments, which of the two concepts do you like better? Because of course you might have had the opportunity to play at least one of them, right? So let me know in the comments, which one do you guys prefer? I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say down below. Now, the first one we're gonna go visit is Battle Arena, and this game mode is quite interesting because it's quite a common game mode you see in gacha games, to be quite honest. This is a game mode you see in Precon. This is a game mode you see even in Danmimo. This is the game mode that you see in Bleach Brave Souls, and in fact, I would say that this game mode that they have given us in Danmachi Battle Chronicle is pretty much identical to Bleach Brave Souls' Brave Battles, actually. So this game mode, to give you guys an idea on what goes down, basically, is that you're going to get a option of 3 opponents. You can choose from any one of them, and once you click Fight, for example, you're greeted with this menu where you can choose your team and set up your team. So this is the setup I've gone with right now, and I'll explain why I've gone with this setup in particular. Then you click battle start, and then you put your hands away from the device and you just watch what happens, because this PvP mode is an auto battle PvP mode. Basically, you choose your opponent, you let the AI do its thing. Now the question is, of course, if the AI can do a good job, of course, but this is the way it works. Basically, you just see the entire team doing its own thing, trying to take on the opponents. Basically, as you can see, we're taking on the enemies right now, and we're doing a fairly good enough job, and we're about to win, I think, this fight. There's only 1 or 2 more people alive right now, and there you go, we won this fight very, very easily, basically. So that is the concept of this game mode, and it's a very, very straightforward game mode, and this is literally all you have to do, is literally choose your opponent, choose your team, and go into the fight. It's very, very straightforward, like I said, right? And then once you come out, you get a brand new set of opponents. You don't get the same set of opponents that you had just a second ago. You get a brand new set of opponents, and if you feel like, okay, these opponents might be a little bit too hard, what you can do is, all you need to do is just update the opponents, and you get a brand new set of opponents right here. Now for me, I would probably go up against this second person, but if I feel like, okay, there are too many strong opponents yet again, you can wait for another 1 minute. Basically, it's a 1 minute timer, and then you'll be able to update the game again and update the opponents again, more so than anything else, which is really, really nice. So it's a very straightforward game mode. I know a lot of people have already actually reached goal 3 already. I've been taking a little bit slow, and my passes have been regenning. I haven't been buying passes at all. So obviously, if you take a look at the top of your screen right now, right at the very tippity top, you can see that I've only got 3 out of 10 passes, and for a full restoration, I have to wait for 32 hours. I think when you use up all your passes, I think you have to wait for 48 hours, I think it is. So it's a very lengthy sort of endeavor. Maybe it's like 50 hours. I'm not sure if it's 48 or 50 hours. Somebody in the comments can correct me on that, because I don't exactly remember how long the restoration period is for 10 tickets. I think it should be 50 hours because it's much more even, like 5 hours per ticket, right? But yes, it's a long wait nonetheless, so a lot of people are just buying tickets instead. And it seems like there are ways for you to get more entry tickets through other means. Now, I don't know where you can get these items from, to be quite honest, but there are ways for you to get entry tickets for free if you do get this item from somewhere. I assume it'll probably end up being in the exchange shop down the line, maybe in the future, or you can get it from maybe like an event or a raid system or whatever it may be. So keep that in mind, basically. Now, the reason why there is also a setup button right here is it allows you to set up a defense party, basically. So this is the team, for example, that my opponents will face. So this is the team that my opponents will face, and this is the team that they will be taking on in the ladder when they see me in on their screen. Basically, whenever they see me in the right hand side, right in the opponent section, that is the team that they will face. So you can set up a different defense team to your offense team as well, so allowing you to change it up a little bit for your defense team, make it a little bit more tankier maybe, whereas your offense team is more offensive basically, because you want to try and go on the offense basically to take on the enemy, and you can obviously decide on which team you want to take down basically effectively there. So you got options there, you've got a lot of options there. Now I want to go to the reward section. Before we go to the exchange shop, I want to go to the reward section. So basically the way the reward system works, right, is it's based on your ranking basically. So the ranking goes from bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and hero basically. So you've got all these tiers to go through. Right now, as you guys know and have seen just a second ago, I'm in the silver tier. So at the end of the season, which is ending on the 3rd of September, this season is going on for about 10 days basically, and I assume future seasons will also be about 10 days long. You will gain rewards from the tier that you are basically. So when you are in, let's say if I finish off the season at silver 3, I will get 100 Selas, 1200 of those things, and then some Exilia. If I go to gold, I'll get 150 Selas, 1600 Brave coins. I'll call it battle coins or Brave coins, whatever it is. Arena coins. I'll call it arena coins, because the other one I can call Scramble coins or something, or magic stones basically. But 1600 arena coins, and then more Exilia. If I end up in platinum, you get the gist. It'll be 300, 2000, and Exilia. You don't get the previous set of rewards. As far as I know, that should not be the case, considering it would be very, very rewarding then. I don't think that should be the case. Otherwise, people will get a lot of rewards if they even reach hero, because you get at hero you get 1000 Selas, 3000 Brave coins, a bunch of Exilia, and one free Almighty Bond Rainbow, which is allowing you to basically get a free coin for any character you want. It's just a free coin for any character that you can use down the line basically. And if you get 10 of these, you can freely limit break or awaken, I should say. You can give one awakening star to any character, which is of course amazing. So this is of course a method for you to basically get these Almighty Bond Rainbows. Now the thing is, you don't need to reach hero for this, nor do you need to reach master for this. All you need to do is reach diamond, and I say like it's a very easy task, but if you reach diamond, you will gain these almighty bonds. Unfortunately, there is not one at platinum. I wish there was one at platinum, because it would have been nicer in all honesty, and it would have been a great way for people to just stop at platinum. But you do need to get to diamond in order to get these almighty bonds. And I would say that to try and get these rewards, I would say diamond 3 is the position you need to reach, to be quite honest. I think diamond 3 is where you need to try and reach. I don't know if everybody can get there. Of course, you only have like another, what is it, 8 days now for the season to end. It's going to be a bit of a task for a lot of players, but I think that if you can reach diamond, you will be in a good spot to get a lot of these materials, and especially this material is the most important material of them all, of course, right? So keep that in mind. The next thing you want to take a look at is the first rank rewards, because these first rank rewards are actually pretty nice, because you get them for just reaching the rank. Now, I don't think this will reset per season, because if it reset per season, it would be insane, but I don't think it resets per season. Once you get to this rank, that's it basically, right? So you reach silver, you get 150, 140 brave coins, 150 Selas, 140 brave coins, and so on. And then at silver 2, 150 Selas, 160 brave coins, and 4 of these memory Exilia, and so on and so forth. So it's a really nice way to get a good chunk of Selas very early on if you can reach these ranks, of course, right? And you'd probably get in total, like if you just reach diamond, right, I'm pretty sure you get about, if I'm not mistaken, nearly 2,000 to 3,000 Selas right there and there, which is of course a multi in this game. And I know a lot of people are struggling to try and get the, the amount you need for a multi. So stuff like this is very, very handy. Hopefully it does reset on season, but I'm not expecting it, and I'm not betting on the fact that we will see it reset on every season, of course, right? So there are your rewards. The next thing we want to take a look at is the exchange shop and what you should try and get from the exchange shop. Now, you've already seen actually that I picked up these boots of fleetness, which is really, really important for the Magic Stone Scramble arena and the Magic Stone Scramble game mode. We'll talk about that later on when we get there. But right now, I would say that prioritize getting at least one of these boots, right? The second boots you can get maybe in the future, but not right now. I would say leave that for later on. After that, I would probably prioritize getting these almighty bonds, then get the regular gacha tickets, and then get all of these other things basically. But prioritize getting the boots first and foremost from this exchange shop. This exchange shop is very easy to try and choose what you want to get, because a lot of it is very, very straightforward. The Magic Stone Scramble exchange shop, it's a little bit more trickier, but basically what these boots do, and the reason why I'm telling you to try and get them, of course, is because they give you movement speed basically, which if you guys already know, in Magic Stone Scramble, it is very, very, very important. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It'll come in handy for you. Now, in terms of some tips and tricks, what I would recommend doing is what the guy at the very top has done right here. If you can see this team on the very top, right? That is the exact way you want to set up your party. So basically, if I go into a fight right now, right? My team is set up like this, right? Where I have Aisha, Lafia, and Belle. Unfortunately, I don't have any tanks. However, what I would do if I had a tank that was of course leveled up, because I'm not using SR Wealth. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not using SR Wealth at this point in time. I'd rather summon and then get hopefully an SSR tank at least, but I'm not using SR Wealth right now. But what I would recommend doing is setting up 2 tanks on either side and then your DPS unit in the middle, because if we go into a fight right now, let's say we go into this fight against this enemy, I would like you guys to analyze how the opponents move and how the AI moves our character as well. So if you look at the top and bottom, right, look at the top and bottom, you can see they're much far forward and they're the first ones to engage. And even the middle character on the opponent's side tackles one of the top or bottom lanes basically. So what you want to do in this situation is you want to set up 2 tanks basically, so that they're the ones engaging and they're the ones shielding themselves from a lot of the attacks while your DPS goes off and takes them down basically. I would recommend setting up your team like that so that you have a very defensive setup and you have a way to basically counter the enemy's offense by just having like 2 holding positions in the top and bottom lanes basically. So that's the way I would probably go about setting up my team. If I obviously had 2 tanks, I would definitely do that. And you can see that a lot of players are actually already doing that based on their defensive setups, right? If you take a look at, let's update it again and see if we can find one. Right now you can't see it, but of course when we were just there a second ago, when we saw my original list before we went into that fight, you could see that there was somebody who had 2 tanks and then 1 DPS unit in the middle. That's how I would set up my team, and that's what I would probably recommend you guys go and do as well, because that'll just allow you to get better victories and better defenses as well. So there you have it. That's the battle arena. Let me know if you have any questions regarding the battle arena in the comment section down below, because now we're gonna go on and move into Magic Stone Scramble. Currently this game mode is not working completely. It's very much half and half. I get into some matches, I don't get into other matches. I think I'm literally 50-50 right now in terms of the how much it works and how much it doesn't work, to be quite honest. But they did say in the notice, if you go over here, I already made a video about this, but they did say that they are working on it. They're looking into the issue regarding Magic Stone Scramble, and that they are going to be working on a fix in the near future. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it gets working by the end of this weekend. Of course, I know that it is the weekend over in Japan now, so probably not a lot of employees are working in their offices, but hopefully they're still working on it a little bit from their homes or whatever it may be, to try and get a fix across to us. But basically, Magic Stone Scramble's ranking system is exactly the same as Battle Arena's: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and hero, right? And it's the same level of rewards, except it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more rewards, and you don't get the coins from this basically. You don't get the magic stones from this. All you get is a bunch of Valis and Selas basically, and you get a little bit more Selas. You might be wondering, Gale, why is there a discrepancy between the Selas rewards from Battle Arena to Magic Stone Scramble? Because if you look at Diamond, right? If you look at Diamond, you get the same rest of the rewards basically. You get the Almighty Bond at the end and everything, but you get 800 Selas here, whereas in Battle Arena you only get 400 Selas. Well, the reason for that is because Magic Stone Scramble goes off until the end of September basically. It goes on until the end of September, so it's from the 23rd of August to the 30th of September. So you have over a month basically to get to Diamond effectively for this game mode, whereas in Battle Arena it's only a week long, a 10-day long event, so the rewards are inherently lower because it's going to reset every 10 or 11 days basically, whereas Magic Stone Scramble, well, it goes on for nearly 4 weeks basically, right? So that's the reason why the rewards are higher in Magic Stone Scramble or the Battle Royale game mode. I'm just gonna call it Battle Royale from now, or Scramble. I'm not gonna add the Magic Stone part. But yeah, the Battle Royale game mode's rewards are as follows, as you can see right here. Yet again, I would recommend trying to hit Diamond at the very least to try and get the Almighty Bond. That is the aim that you should be targeting, and that is the goal you should be targeting, in my personal opinion. In terms of the first rank rewards, it's very straightforward once again. Here you do actually get the contest coins, as it's called, and as a result, I would just recommend trying to reach these ranks. Of course, I'm only in Bronze 3 right now because I haven't done that many matches. I've only done 7 matches and I've gotten 3 wins, of course. Most of my matches end up me being in 3rd or 4th position, and then sometimes I get wins, of course, if I'm lucky. So that is, of course, the ranking system and the reward system and what you should be trying to do to get there. I would go in and do a match really quickly, but I know my game is going to freeze, so I'm not really going to bother with that. Instead, we're going to go to the exchange shop straight away, and then we'll talk about some tips and tricks. Now here, there's a lot of interesting stuff. So you have 2 equips instead of the one from Battle Arena, right? In Battle Arena, you only have the boots. Here you have the Vigor Amber and the Divine Energy Gem. So which one should you pick, you might be already asking. Well, in Vigor Amber, it's a very strong equipment, mainly because it gives you 10% strength and 10% magic. So it's very good for both types of characters, magic characters and strength focused characters. And especially, I would say it's really good for Bell, because Bell is a blend of magic and strength, of course, right? Because you look at his kit, right? You are Bell, that is. A lot of his attacks are melee, but then his special move, which is his Firebolt, is of course a magic attack. So you want to try and have this sort of an equipment on him because he's getting the best of both worlds. So that helps him out tremendously. And then if you look at the Divine Energy Gem, it is a sort of tank focused equipment because it gives a vitality and HP, as you can see on the top of your screens, the base stats, of course, right? And then it gives 20% endurance, which is, I assume, basically a form of shield effectively for the character for 10 seconds. Yet again, really helpful if you are running tanks in the late game, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Beyond that, of course, you have a bunch of Selas. You have 1,000 Selas basically right here, very easily accessible. I mean, I've only done 7 matches and I can get like 300 I can get, what is this, 7,000 Selas already. And then, of course, you got some Almighty Bonds here as well, but they're for SSR characters and SR characters instead, and it's very limited. It's only 5, so you can't even fully limit break a character. You need 10 of these coins and bonds to be able to actually limit break a character. I wish they would increase it to 10, but I mean, it's just because I would rather each refresh we get 10 rather than 5, and then we have to wait for another refresh to get another 5. You know what I mean? I think that would be a bit better, to be quite honest. And then you have a bunch of Exilia here, which you can get, of course, right? I would recommend leaving this for last, however. I would really recommend leaving this for last. Prioritize getting the Vigor Amber and Divine Energy Gem, at least one of each copy, I would say. If you want to get more, you can probably get more later down the line, but prioritize getting at least one of each first and foremost. Then get the Selas, then get the bonds, and then get the Exilia. That's the way I would personally do it. And in all honesty, you should be able to get all of these very easily. From what I've seen, players who have done like 30 matches or 40 matches have already gotten like 3,000 magic stones already, which is insane. So make sure you guys just keep doing the stages again and again. And in fact, I do believe one of the compensation items will probably be the contest coins, because of course we've not been able to participate in the game all that much because the game mode's been broken, of course, right? But I do think that they will give some form of compensation because we haven't been able to play the game mode, of course. Now, let's talk about a tip for you guys. And this is a tip that's pretty common for everybody, and I think it's one of the most common tips I've seen being given out by everybody. It's a very much simple tactic of hit and run. So for this tactic, you want 2 characters, a DPS and a healer or tank. Preferably, I would say a tank might be a little bit better in the late game, but that's exactly what you need. You need a DPS and a tank. The last one and the last unit can be a sub DPS unit. Probably you could consider running somebody like Ryu or Mikoto, somebody who can inflict a sort of like movement speed buff slash debuff on yourself or the enemy, of course, right? So something that you might want to consider doing. But it's a simple tactic, but it can be hard to execute in the late game specifically, right? So first and foremost, try and get as many magic stones as possible and see if you can get to obviously 100. Try and just be in first place as much as you can, basically. but at the end you want to try and wait it out. Of course, you want to try and wait it out at the end, and you want to use your tank or healer to do so. So for this, you will need 1 or 2 pieces of key items, and one of them, like I said, was the Boots of Fleetness to help you get that movement speed, basically, right? First and foremost, you want to try and get that. And then the second thing you want is this Divine Energy Gem, if possible, to give you that stamina and of course that endurance as well, that vitality. Basically, you want to try and get that defense going, so you want to try and get those as well, right? But basically it is very simple. Basically, it is very simple. So the Boots of Fleet should be on your healer, for example, Cassandra, Riveria, somebody like that, basically, because what you can then do is you can heal your character once you hit the timer and everything, once you're at the very tippity top of the ranking, basically, right? All you need to do is put on the Boots of Fleeting and of course activate the item and give yourself movement speed and continuously run circles around everybody. You're dodging every single attack, get out of the line of fire and make sure that you're surviving. Basically, that's the idea at the end. Of course, use your healer to heal yourself up again so that you're surviving the attacks. If you get hit with any attack, you can survive those attacks basically as well. And then afterwards, you want to try and obviously use your tank. If you are running the tank version of this tactic, basically use the divine key on your tank basically to get yourself that endurance and you know, that defense basically. And then at that point, you're obviously trying to shield yourself from all the attacks coming your way basically. And of course, if you want to try and do this as well with both, you can as well. So you can run a DPS, a healer and a tank as well, and I think that's also super efficient as well, of course, right? And I think that is probably the best way to go about it, because that way, if you do have a healer, right, you can heal up the rest of your team and your tank if he isn't at full HP, then shift into your tank and just run around while tanking a lot of attacks. Shift into Cassandra or any of one of your healers that you have, heal up your characters again, and then shift back out into your tank once again. So it's a very straightforward tactic of getting to the point. As a TLDR, this is the way it works. Get to 100 or get to the maximum amount of magic stones that you can, of course. Then afterwards, switch into your tank a lot of the attacks as well as just try and survive as much as possible. Then shift into Cassandra, heal up your tank, use the Boots of Fleetness to run circles around everybody, and then shift back into your tank basically to be able to survive and take a lot of the damage basically. It's a very straightforward tactic and it's very effective basically if executed to perfection. Unfortunately, as you can see by my team, I cannot do that. But I think if you guys do have a healer and a tank, make sure you guys use that tactic to good effect, because trust me when I say this, from what I've seen, it is the best tactic. It is by far and away the best tactic that you can employ. Of course, it does leave you still susceptible to taking hits, especially when you're in the healer, when you're in the healer unit, of course, portion of the fight, of course, right? Because if your healer gets hit, it's goodbye, because the healers are inherently quite frail. So keep that in mind. It is a little bit tricky in that regards as well. But yes, there you guys go. Those are the 2 game modes. Personally, for me, if I had to choose between one of these 2 game modes, honestly, Scramble has been a little bit more fun. I'm not gonna lie. As much as I like Battle Arena and the fact that it's working, of course, right, compared to Scramble, I think Scramble is just that little bit more chaotic. It's a little bit more RNG, but it's just a lot of fun in that last mosh pit. It can go crazy, honestly. It can go crazy. Personally, I'm not too fussy about losing. It's more so about just trying to have fun, and I get a lot of fun out of Scramble, to be quite honest. The moments of rage, the moments of just hilarity, it's amazing. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, like I said, which one do you guys like the concept of more, and which one do you guys like more in the comment section down below. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.